Why are we still having the same fights about education that we've been having for the last generation? Why is that, in your view?
There's a good reason and there's a bad reason. The good reason about this debate being so much in the forefront now is that finally it matters to both the right and the left wing. So that's important. Now, unfortunately, it matters because of the global economy, and people need to make sure, you don't have manufacturing jobs anymore in the States. And so ultimately, you need to make sure that all kids get a decent high school and or college education and the skills necessary to navigate through the global economy. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not trumped all the social and economic vicissitudes that kids sometimes have. And ultimately, schools have to do that. So that's part of the reason that Jeff Kennedy and I will agree that wraparound services, community schools, we need to do that to help kids because we need to compete with the streets. We need to make sure kids have health care. If kids can't see a board, whether it's the whiteboard or the old blackboard, how are they going to do an assignment on the board? So schooling, in some ways, has to be broader. And ultimately, we have to face issues such as making sure the best teachers are in the toughest schools. So part of this is a shared responsibility, but this is a very important moment. And that's why collaboration becomes so important. We need to do this together. The schools that work well are the schools that work collaboratively. I've never seen the kind of tough guy approach that Chancellor Rhee has or whatever ever work to turn around schools. What I've seen work to turn around schools is when the community comes together and everybody does the hard work that we need to do. And ultimately, some of that is pay, some of that is safety and discipline in schools, some of that is engaged parents. It's all of that together.
Forgive me not to be argumentative with you, but there are many, many people who would say that that's a cop-out. There have always been kids with social problems. There have always been kids with emotional problems, always been kids with financial problems. And that really what is important is what happens in the classroom.
But what I'm saying is that you have to do both at the same time. It's not an either or. We have to do the work. Teachers have to do the work they have to do in classrooms. But think about all those teachers who do all of that. And it's just sometimes not enough. We need to do both.